Welcome to Vital Video Visibility, the net friending way with yours truly, April 2.0. And with me today is my friend, co-host, producer, and the voice of net friending, Roy Montero. Hello, Roy.
Hi, April.
He's like, back to you. Because today, this is a special behind the scenes show that we are doing. Call it, I don't know, a bonus, if you will. It's a bonus. It's it's your opportunity to see what goes on behind the scenes, what we do when we are not public and we're creating miracles. I don't know. See, we just went live and Roy's like, hey, April, say this, do this, do this, say this, da 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 da. Like, I'm never going to remember any of that. And he's like, just hit the go live button. Let's go. Let's do it. So,
Well,
listen,
I told her I was going to sit on my hands.
but he lied.
Gosh, I just can't do it because I need to just inject all of this into your mindset so that you will know what she's doing, been doing, and why we do it this way instead of the way that you've been doing it. Um, I'm blabbing you. I know a lot of people will hear this. First, our inner circle will hear this, and then they'll blab it for us. Hashtag blab with a 2 in the middle for us. Body language 2.0 and beyond it, so that we can know if we're on the right track or not for them. Are they our target audience? Are they our ideal target audience? Because April still struggles with that. She doesn't know who she's talking to. So the person she wanted to talk to, they're just not responding. They hear her, but they're not responding because she wants them to sit next to her in the seat. And they're like, nah, we just want to text. So what I want to say is April and I do everything behind the scenes like this, just her and I, or we go live. She's done some really good live stuff publicly where she even like cries because she just lost her mom and her dad and not her dad, and her dad's got cancer and her dad's doing like more hospital visits and she's an only child. And so her immediate family is being like, yeah, it's just a big blank for her. It's an issue of life for her. But just because it's an issue of life doesn't mean she's not prepared for it. And while she is grieving and while she is feeling this, that, and the other thing, it's not letting her stop doing what she's doing, which is this, jumping off a cliff and just building the parachute on the way down. So this is us building the parachute on the way down behind the scenes. So April's been wanting to do what I've been wanting her to do for many moons now, like 2.5 years. I told her I want 3 videos, 90 seconds or less each. What's the first one? What's the second one? What's the third one, April? Explain to them what they're going to do with you, right along with you. So this is like a training video for them behind the scenes because I told you what to say. I told her, like, say these 2-minute things, like for 2 minutes. I'm never going to remember that. I said, okay, well, then I'll help you. So I'm helping her. Okay, what are the 3 videos that people can do to be in the prestigious people search engine? Can you explain that to them? Why do they even want to be there?
Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Why do you want to be in a prestigious people search engine? The better question is, why wouldn't you want to be in a prestigious people search engine? Because if, right? Am I right though? Come on.
Well, I have to tell people who are meeting us for the very first time. Hi, my name's Roy Montero. I am the speed relationship guy. Yes, building relationships at the at the speed of sound, the sound of your voice and the sound of my voice, just like I did with April 2.5 years ago. And here's where we are 2.5 years later. I call her my protege with 2 E's at the end. That's the female version. That's the feminine version. I did not know that until I looked it up. Anyway, she says that she is, right? You say you're my protege, whatever that means to the average bear. But more than that, she's a friend. And she's been educating me as much as I've been educating her. And I asked one of my friends, what would that be? A friend tour? Because I don't want to be a mentor. I want to just be a friend and educate you. And I want you to be my friend and educate me. Or at least be friendly and educate me. You don't have to be my friend. So she says, what about Frienducation? I said, yes. I rang the bell. I jumped up and down and did the happy dance. And it's like, that stuck. When friends get together and educate each other, it's called Frienducation. There's no mentor-mentee status. April doesn't feel she's inferior to me like she did when she first sat down. That was her brain telling her she was inferior to me. My brain didn't tell me that. My brain said, wow, who is this unmasked woman who wanted to come take a seat next to me in Skype and do a meet and greet 2.5 years ago? And we've been doing meet and greets ever since. And now we want to actually help people to speed that process up by putting 3 videos on their website and letting me index it, put it in my people search engine if they qualify. April?
Yes. And I love when he does that. April, back to you. Ah! Okay. So, prestigious people search engine is a place where you are among people who are not mediocre. And what does mediocre mean? Mediocre means you know better, but you just don't want to do better. So why would you want to be hanging around with people who know better and don't want to do better? That just makes no sense. So of course you want to be among people who are prestigious in a people search engine, the people who do know better and who are doing better, because when you get together with those people, you will go further, faster on your journey, and you will be able to connect with those like-minded people. And we're going to do this through these 3 videos that Roy just mentioned.
Now,
go ahead.
Now, I know a lot of you are saying, like-minded people, yeah, I heard that before. No, my culture, my environment that I gave to April, she said, I like it. I'm in. I can grow here. I can be myself here. You're right, Roy. When 2 people let each other just be themselves and don't want to mold themselves into the other person or the other person's version of a friend, things go so much faster, smoother, easier, and they actually help each other. There's a bond that's built. We get intimate all by osmosis, simply because we have the right mindset. I just wanted to make sure that people understood, yeah, I've heard that like-minded stuff before, not like this. April, touch on the culture and the environment for a second, because I think that sets us apart. Sally Hogshead says,
different is better than better. And oh my goodness, we are so different than lots of people and groups and cultures that you see out there.
So don't mistake the words that we use, that the status quo also uses, but they have a completely different meaning than we do. So they say networking and you think icky. We say net friending and you think, wow.
Net friending, not networking. Why, Roy?
Because net friending is the softer side of networking.
Yes.
Friendship
First. Business-ship.
second. So we have a lot of fun, April and I. So let me just zag for a second, because there's a lot of people that are just going to relate to what I'm about to share. And I probably can't share it without feeling just a little choked up, just a little emotional. April, do that thing you do when you know that you're getting ready to just, yeah.
Right here. You feel
when it's there.
You feel the tears, the emotion, the everything. It's like just pushing up into your face until it can't take it anymore. It just has to come out somewhere.
Yeah, and so I don't even know if we've ever talked about this. So let me finish my thought. So people are going like, you're all over the place, Roy. I don't follow you. This is true. That's why I have April, so she can translate me, as I like to say, because I I do speak very, very fluent Blantonese. I know who you are before you know who you are, if you're not as far along on the journey as I am of self-awareness, self-discovery, knowing the truth about this relationship and that friendship. Um, because you might hear one day somebody say to you, hey, we're not as good as friends as you think we are. That's the blow of blows, I think. That happened to
No,
one of the people. Yeah, go ahead.
even worse. What if somebody's thinking you're not as good friends as you thought you were, and they never tell you, and they just treat you that way?
Mm,
We never discussed that one, but
that
that
is
happened.
that is worse. Yes. See, one of the things that separates us from the average uh, community, you may know it best as community. There's a lot of articles out there on how to start a community, how to start a tribe. That's not what I want to do. I want to start a movement, because when I start a movement and you believe what I believe, you'll be in the movement, which then puts you in the tribe. But if I put you in a tribe and don't tell you what the movement is, you might not believe that way. So I'm going to start at the top. I just want people who believe like me, because when two people believe the same, trust emerges. Huge trust emerges. April trusted me with stuff that she never thought that she would trust anybody with. But yet at the same time, she had that icky feel in the very beginning of our relationship, because she felt like I was going to sell her something that she might not want to buy, like a used car or something. I don't know. April, you want to see, I'm blabbing her right now. So the harder you laugh, the truer it is. Ring that bell for that.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. 2 months. I mean, 2 months, 2 years, 2 months, and like 21 days ago. Is that right? I think that's right. And that's a lot of 2 1 2 2 1. That's a lot of ones and twos. So 2 years. That was 6 months. I'm all over the board today. It's 2 years, 6 months, and 21 days ago. There you go. 2.5 years ago, I met that guy over there. You can't see him. Y'all are probably wondering, like, I hear this voice, but I can't even see him. But that's another
Yeah, let's
story.
talk about that for a second. Let's zag. Just a lot of people are wondering, like, well, why doesn't he show his face?
Yeah.
And so my question to you is, then what?
But Roy, this is a video platform. Roy, video.
So you're not my target audience. That's all.
There you go.
Now I'm done. Now what do you got? Right? That person who said that. It's like, Roy, why are you not on video? Right? If you're thinking that, you're not my audience. You're not my ideal target audience. You don't have to even be thinking that, because if you are, then I'm doing this on purpose to weed you out, to filter you out. Because okay, so this is one of the big things that April learned as she was transitioning into April 2.0, which happened within 60 days. Right? So you hear all these marketers say, within 30 days you could do this, within 60 days you'll do that. Take my 90-day course and blah 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 blah, and all these promises and stuff. Okay, I get it. I also know that there's a lot of shysters out there. I also know that just because they say something doesn't mean that they can deliver. There's a lot of people over promising, under delivering. April, true that?
Oh yeah. Don't get me started.
Then we won't. That's enough right there for you to be able to blab her. She's like, this woman did not know anything entrepreneurial when she met me 2.5 years ago. She did not know anything business other than being an employee in her genre, in her industry, and everything else, because she knows it inside out. She can sleep it, and but it's not satisfying anymore for her. It's like she's got what most people would say is the American dream, and then she found her husband cheating, and that's not so American dream anymore. And then she had a decision to make. Does she divorce him because they have a child who is on the autism spectrum and nonverbal? And he was like 6 at the time, I think, 5 or 6. And she's like, oh, I can't do this by myself. And then she started thinking 3 days later, she's going, what do you mean? I'm already doing this by myself, because he wasn't hardly there to start with. And she had just, she just wasn't aware of it the way that she should be aware of it. And well, it's been almost 2 years since your divorce. As a matter of fact, in 1 week, it'll be exactly 2 years because you
Oh my
never
God.
let me forget 9/9. Yeah, so that's really cool. Um, we pay a lot of attention to numbers around here simply because numbers have meanings, and I'm not going to go into that right now. The thing is that when we met, the day we met was a very special day to April, so she had to think twice. I think if all these numbers wouldn't have been in April's life, she probably would have said, I'm going to run for the hills. You scare me, Roy Montero. And I get that. And that would have been okay. But God knew better. He knew that if he could talk to her through some numbers, that she'd go, but there's some numbers here. Maybe I just ought to check this out a little bit better. Oh, look, it's 111 over here. And since
Boy.
she's East Coast and I'm West Coast, it's 411 over there. 411, information time. April, true that, yes or no? Let's let people know this, because I think what a lot of people do is they force their relationships when they first meet. They think, oh my goodness, I can get so much from this person, but I don't really have the synergy, the energy, the chemistry with them, but I'll force ripe it anyway because I want this from them and they've got what I want. And April, when you do that, you lose. Yes?
Yes. And here's what I believe about many people. I'm not going to say all people. I'm not even going to say most people, but many, lots of people. Through my live streaming experience as a TV 2.0 talk show host and a moderator in a very large live streaming group, the BeLivers group, where we have a community of people using the BeLive.tv live video platform. We have over 7,000 people in that group and double that follow the page, the corresponding Facebook page.
And these are all live streamers or want to be live streamers, okay? So those are the people that we're looking for. If you don't live stream, then you need not apply. But if you want to learn, then you can help us by being part of our parachute making on the way down, because we're looking for people to help us. Most people would refer to this as like a pilot program. Some people charge for it. We don't charge. We're looking for 121 people from each tribe leader, and we're going to have lots and lots of tribe leaders, and we want to help you. If you want to help your tribe leader by brand championing them, which you're already doing, it's like, yeah, I love this person, and I'll tell you why, blah, 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 blah. And you can talk to us and sit next to a seat, then you're in. Just saying. And we'll help you if you just want to do this and don't know how to do this, because your phone is all you really need to start with. You won't be able to use BeLive on your phone to start it, but you can at least practice and be a part of it until you go, oh my goodness, I need to do this on my laptop. I need to do this on my computer, because April, that's what happens, right? When people get a taste of sitting next to us, they can't wait to do this on their own. We're just that good. No brag, just fact.
Yes. And if I may continue my original
yes,
thought.
you may. Sorry about that. I zag or zig a lot, so sorry. My apologies.
That's great, because you're saying things that I wouldn't think of to say, or you say it differently than I would say it.
Right, and that's what makes us different, is that we don't go scripted. We just go by what enters our brain at the time, because I think that people need to know this, because I'm thinking I'm already talking to 2 million people right now. See, when it's just her and I, because that's how I roll.
Oh, I got you beat. I'm talking to 2.2 billion people right now.
Oh my goodness, you do have me beat. Okay, well that's true, because Marky has like 2.2 billion people on the server, on this server, yeah, still server, on Facebook that we can reach, and they can reach us. So yeah, that's what, almost 1/3 of the human race, the planet. That's plus you can have your own TV show. That's what this is all about. A TV 2.0 talk show host.
So, but wait, so there's people in this large group. This is where most of them have crossed my path in the BeLivers group. Live streamers or people who are aspiring to be a live streamer. And I just noticed that many people connect in this very superficial way. And I don't believe that it's because they want to connect that way. I think it's because they don't have somebody like myself and Roy in their life to show them, not just tell them, but to show them and role model for them that there is more to connecting with other people than just knowing what that other person does for a living. And I just, the more questions that I ask of people in that group and watching the way that they answer my questions, they're not listening to what I'm even asking. They're just answering what they're used to. They're on autopilot, and their answers are very robotic. It's, they hear what they want to hear because this is what they're doing, is what they've always done. And there is such a need for our culture and what we're doing. In Roy and I are so gifted in the ability to read people, their body language 2.0 and beyond, which we haven't even gotten into yet. But body language, we're all used to since we've been young, right? Looking at people and assessing if somebody's got their arms folded, maybe they're mad, or hey, maybe they're cold. Oftentimes, so we read people's body language and we assume to know that what's in their head based on how they're doing this or that, or maybe they're rolling their eyes. But now we live in this culture of online, and maybe you can't always see what my arms are doing. Maybe because my head is like this, and you don't know what I'm doing with my hands. And it goes beyond that. It does. There's so many people doing body language experts here, there, everywhere. But they're doing all the science and the hard facts. We're saying, hey, look, we all assess people. You do it, I do it, he does it. We all do it. Every time we're around another human being, we're assessing, whether it's outward or inward, verbally, non-verbally, we're assessing. The thing that people are not doing, lots of people don't do this. Very small amount of people probably do. The blunt people. Most people will not confirm with that other person that they are assessing whether or not they have assessed them correctly. And there is no harm in asking somebody, hey, you're folding your arms. Are you mad at me? Or do you have to go to the bathroom because you're cold or something and you're like holding it in? I don't know. Crazy stuff. We want to teach people how to read other people so that you're not doing things blindly. You're not walking through life like a robot. You actually understand the person you're talking with. Body language 2.0 and beyond is more the beyond part, really, because it's a lot of unspoken, reading between the lines. And if you're not tuned in to the person you're talking with, notice I didn't say talking to or at, but with, exchanging dialogue, if you're not tuned into them, and especially if that's your prospective client, customer, if you're not reading them right, you could potentially lose that sale. But there's people on the internet that are not talking about this. No. Instead, they're talking about algorithms, and they're talking about ads and funnels and the mechanical stuff and how many views and how much reach and how many likes, how many shares, all of that. And that's all great.
But that's one side. But there's two sides to everything, April.
There's the mechanical side and there's the mindset side. Did I say that loud enough? The mindset side. Y'all can't see. I have a microphone over here.
When people realize that there's two sides to everything, and the question that I hear the most is, how do I drive traffic to my website? It's like, how do you do it? That's one way. And why do you do it? That might change how you do it if you go to Guru A, Guru Z, or Guru anywhere in between. And I can tell you right now how the Guru is going to connect with you. It's their personality. It's how they say what they say. It's what they say, what they say. It's their whole content providerness, not their content. You're attracted to the person, how they speak, how they look, how they deliver it, because that is your ideal of someone you can trust. And if they look different than that, it's, ooh, I don't trust you. If they sound different than that, ooh, I don't trust you. And people don't even realize this. They're not even aware of this. I say to April often, especially in the beginning, because that's what I wanted to impress upon her, is that you don't know what you don't know. April, how awareing was that for you in your life? And how eye-opening and mind-opening and heart-opening was that for you to know that I don't know what I don't know? And when I speak, and there's somebody like you in the room, Roy, who knows what I'm really saying, that I'm not even aware of because I've either been brainwashed, flea trained, or just sucked into the culture and the environment. And nobody in my circles is any smarter or wiser than me. And they don't know this body language 2.0 and beyond stuff. How important was that for you, April, in the very beginning?
It was very important. So I think, I'm pretty sure, I consider myself an intelligent person. I would say that I've known all along that I don't know what I don't know. But hearing Roy give words to something that I already knew, I just knew. And to deliver that one-liner to me in a fun, funny, and fruitful way, which, by the way, is part of our culture. Everything must be fun, funny, and fruitful. Otherwise, we is out. Just saying. Hashtag. So the one-liner, I don't know what I don't know, gave me permission to not feel inferior to other people. Because, duh, of course we don't know what we don't know. But to hear another person say that, and to be able to say that to myself and say it out loud to other people, is like, I don't know what I don't know. It takes the pressure and the spot off of me, which never needed to really be there to begin with. And I even started using that one-liner with my employees at my job in corporate America, where I have worked for a 24-year stint. I guess that doesn't make it a stint anymore. 24 years. And I take the knowledge and the wisdom that I have gained over these last 2.5 years, and I share that in my job life, which really is just my life. There's work, personal, it's all your life. And I shared that with my employees, and now they're saying it and they're laughing about it. And it takes that pressure off of them, because they're feeling really bad about themselves when there's something that they don't know. But to just say, well, I don't know what I don't know, it's just, you could breathe a little easier, you know? Okay, I don't know. I zagged a lot on that one. What was your point, Roy?
No, that was great, because I think a lot of people don't even want to know what they don't know. Because the number one reason is it doesn't feel good, it hurts. And if it doesn't hurt all that much, it's like, I fear what's on the other side, because I fear the unknown. I don't know why, but I just fear. And fear to me means don't do it, run away, run for the hills. When fear means false evidence appearing real, it's keeping you from your blessing. You have to do a blessing or two along the way. And then even when you didn't do a blessing, you get a blessing, because something you did in the past, or something you did and someone else did, and then they did something else, and there's a blessing for you in the short run 2-3 years ago. But here comes a blessing, that ripple effect, the butterfly effect, that That stuff that whatever you send into the universe comes right back to you. Exact same measure, exact same evil, exact same good. But either you forgot that or you were never taught that. And I know that if you walk through life without this awareness, without this knowledge, you're in trouble. And you can't be part of the people search engine that I envision in my mind. That is a dream of mine, to one day wake up with my friends who are online, most of them, if not all of them, and introduce someone to someone else who they don't know yet, and they end up being their best friend. Even if you've been a part of the movement for 2 or 3 years, 20 or 30 years, you don't know what God has in store for you. If you did, you'd be God. Now that we have that out of the way, start thinking people, not content. Start thinking content provider, not content. If you're throwing out content and you're like under your breath, or when you're by yourself, this content stuff isn't working. It's like I threw out 14 memes yesterday, like so-and-so said to do, and you got to do it at this time, and you got to do it like that. Okay, when you get to that point, come see us, because now you need to go to the other side of, there's two sides to everything. You've done the content side. You've done the, what is it? The how. The how is the content. The why is the connection. Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario. How many pieces of content and what kind of content do you think you need to throw at April? At what time during the day? And when, for her to be able to take a look at you and go, you know what? I want to buy your stuff. Or you know what? I don't need to buy your stuff, but my tribe needs to buy your stuff. Let's form a partnership. So how much content do you think you need to throw at her before she decides she wants to do that with you? April, what's the answer? How much content does a person have to do? Because just in case they're not aware, content doesn't work on you. Content providerness works on you. You're not about the content, you're about the connection. Can you explain that to people? Because they don't get that. So when you get a friend request, they don't even know why they're friend requesting you. Can you start there?
Oh.
Can we educate people on, if you want to, listen, if you would like to friend request April 2.0, here's what you got to do. April? Or here's what you start off with, what you don't do.
The better question is, what do you not do when you, yeah. First of all, this man, that guy over there, Roy Montero, he knows what I'm passionate about. And he's just like, okay, let's throw out this one-liner and then let's talk about friend requests and we'll just get April all worked up. So I think, just touching on something you said before, that this is how we roll. There's people who they know the power of connection with another human being. But when they have all these people in their ears selling $2,000 programs for how you can, buy more likes, I'm going to call it buy more likes, buy more reach. It's the get rich quick thing. They call it a scheme. I'm just going to call it a thing. It's the get rich quick mentality that's out there right now. And so many people, most people are just clinging to the perfect formula that's going to just, the odds are going to be in their favor that they have more people coming their way. But just because you have 5,000 people coming your way doesn't mean all 5,000 people are going to want to buy your product or service. So what do you do once those 5,000 people are there and they're asking you questions? Do you even know who these people are? Do you know how you're going to serve them? I'm like transitioning in a weird way now to the friend request thing, because I think it is, it's kind of in alignment. Do you hear what I did? That, like, I'm going to course correct myself, and I'm like, I think It's kind of, no, it's an alignment, I believe. Yeah. This is what you're going to learn in the net friending movement, is how to be confident, how to own your own words, and not be a fence sitter. Don't be a fence sitter.
Plant your flag.
I need a flag and a cape. I need a Superwoman cape.
Yes, yes. So let me touch on planting your flag. So as soon as I find out that you're a fence sitter or a middle of the roader, and I'll find that out really quick on you, because I'll hear things like, when I ask you, do you trust me, yes or no? You'll say something like, I don't know you. You're a fence sitter.
Or they'll say, yes. Just like that. Which is still a fence sitter, by the way.
I was just going to ask you, is that still a fence sitter?
It absolutely is, yes.
Yes. You have to plant your flag. I trust Roy. I'm withholding trust from Roy. Plant your flag. Let me hear you say it. Roy, I'm withholding trust from you. I don't even need to know why. But you need to know before you say, oh gosh, I got to tell him why, because his feelings are going to get hurt. 4 out of 5 dentists will say, I don't want to hurt your feelings, Roy. Like, where did they get this information? It's like, you need to listen to my bio. When you listen to my bio, here's the first thing I say. Hi, my name is Roy Montero, and you can't hurt my feelings. You can't offend me. You can't do anything to me that you think you can. So you don't have any control, just like I don't have any control. I can't convince you of anything. If you think I can, then you better run for the hills, because you're the only one that can convince you of anything. Now that you have either run for the hills or said to yourself, wow, that guy is different. He's networking, but different. It's called net friending. I want to know, does you does or does you does not want to be a friend of mine? Because if you can take blunt and ease and answer questions that people in your circles are not asking you, because you are in circles that are not yet as far down their journey as the people here within the net friending movement are or want to be, and you still have a little bit of butthurtitis, B-U-T, hurtitis. April, you ever heard of butthurtitis? It goes around a lot when people come near me. I'll tell you that. I bring that disease out in them so many times. Or is it a disorder? April, what do you think? I don't know. We haven't ever discussed this before. It's just a fun way to say.
I don't know. It might be a syndrome, actually. It could be that.
Oh, syndrome. Okay, I might have to drop. So you keep going, because I just heard you roboting, which means my internet is low.
Oh, yay. So there's so much. There's so much to talk about. There's so much. Friend requests. Let's talk about that for a second, because Roy brought that up. Now, I can't speak for the rest of the world, but I can speak for me. And I can tell you how applying the right filtering system to your friend request action-taking ability. I don't know. I never thought it this deep before.
Wait a second. That's a perfect... you said you never thought about it this deep before. Friend requesting. Don't lose that train of thought. Say it out loud. What do you want to say? I want to talk about Mari Smith. Mari Smith has almost 5,000 capacity friends. When April, listen to me, everybody, listen, write this down. When April gets close to 5,000 friends on Facebook, you better believe that those people have been vetted by her personally, which means they've been blabbed by her, hashtag blab with a 2 in the middle, or somebody she trusts to blab another person that made a request and said, I want to be in your inner circle, and here's what I'm willing to do to be there, because I see the value of we. Because most of the people on Mari Smith, and I'm not picking on Mari. I love Mari. I'm just saying. Here's what I know. I don't think Mari has the know of the peeps. First degree, second degree, third degree of those 5,000 people that she's said yes to in a friend request, as well as April will. when she reaches that number, because right now her number is under your number's under 100. She's
96.
very filtered. She's not thinking like everybody else and collecting friends. What she's doing is different. And I know there's all kinds of controversy out there. Are you a social snob? Are you a social media snob? Because, 2 billion people, 2 billion people follow you and you only follow 90. It's like, all I have to say is Dunbar's number. The Dunbar number is 150. Mic drop. April?
And I'm way below that. I'm at 96. And that doesn't count Roy, so that's 95. And that doesn't count a couple of people who have passed away, so that's really like 93. Oh, why do I even stay connected to people that are deceased? I don't know. We'll just call it melancholy. I don't know. So really, it's like 93 people, seriously, 94 people.
You never went this deep.
No, I didn't. I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, actually it's 93 people because there's that other, never mind. There's another account that I had to make for myself to do something. So yeah, I mean.
So do you see how well she knows her account? You can better account for 93 people than you can for 4,993 people. Just saying hashtag. April, you said you never went this deep in your thinking before about friend requests before I not interrupted you, because we don't interrupt each other. We just zag. Well, so back to the zig.
No, it was the specific wording I was using before that I was like action taking ability. I just couldn't find a word. So with friend requests, with friends who you have received, you've accepted because they have friend requested you. Think about I just want people to think and not just mind-numbingly do stuff. So if you have 96, we'll go with my number. If you have 96 friends on your friends list and it is visible for others to see, I know some people hide that information, but if that's visible for you on your profile and somebody comes along, whoever that somebody is, and they see that you have 96 friends, they're going to make a lot of assumptions, which is why we blab people. And when we blab people, body language 2.0 and beyond, we always ask, hey, I see you have 96 friends on your friends list. Is that because A, you're a snob? B, you're shy and introverted? C, you just have a really tight filter, and I really appreciate that about you if that's your answer. We need to have these conversations, folks. It's just that there's a lot of people who are afraid to
have.
We must.
Conversations. The conversations that no one has or very few people have in the way that we do, and that's take a seat with us, be vulnerable, petri dish, shame and guilt story. When you hear another human being say exactly or close enough to where your heart, your essence is touched, tears, April, do that thing. When you know the tears are like right here, there you go, like right there, and they're ready to come out, and it's like, where are the tissues, male or female? If you are that person, you're net friending movement material. I don't know how to say it any better than that. And if you don't get choked up, you might as well not even apply, because you're going to be here for all the mechanics, and we don't want mindsets like that. We want people who have great whys, not just good whys, because we only have good or great. When April came to me, she was good, but now she knows she's great, because the great part is she knows better, she does better. She's not better than anybody else. She's better than the last version of herself, which may have come 2 or 3 moments ago, 2 or 3 days ago, maybe sometimes if you're a little slow, 2 or 3 months ago. April can tell you that she's grown every single day, whether she can monitor it or not, measure it or not, because she doesn't necessarily use what she just learned today or tomorrow. She may have learned it today and come into use in a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. Sometimes she goes back in her memory laning and reminiscing, and it's like, where did you get that? Like that video you shared with me this morning is like, wow, I hadn't heard. You said you remember this? It was like something I recorded for her, and it was like, wow, I needed to hear that again. Who does that for you? Only people who want to be a witness to your life and who get you, and there's a connection because you're not just in it for the content. You know, if you like my post, I like your post. Okay, let's do that. Okay, now we're like collaborating, right?
We're like
We're like that.
we're like
Go ahead, April.
pinky
I'm
friends.
sorry. Yeah, we're like, oh, we want to give you guys another culture, another environment. That's what I want April to say right now. This culture and environment, April, have you ever seen or heard or felt an environment like we have?
No,
The two of us, and now
no.
we're going public with it to see who else wants to do it with us, because we do have to do it in a private setting like this, because there's some things that the world just can't see because they don't know, they don't understand anyway. So we have to have a public version, a semi-public version, and then a private version for those people who really want to go deep. Like you went deep, but you went public because your fear level is, okay, I'm going to do this for 4 or 5 days. I'm going to just do circles, do merry-go-round horsey rides, and then I'll go, okay, now I'm going to really do what I need to do. And this is a result of that. Help people with that, because some people get stuck for years.
I've had periods of being stuck on my journey in the last 2.5 years. Plenty of periods of being stuck. Some have lasted for a half a day, a couple hours. Some have lasted a day or two. And most recently, I've had 2 times where I was stuck for about 5 days, where I literally could feel myself spiraling downward with, like I was in quicksand. And if I did not have Roy and several other people checking on me, talking with me, I would probably just continue that downward spiral until I didn't even want to show up anymore. And that's critical. Showing up is so critical for each of you who are hearing the words coming out of my mouth. There's so many people who are afraid, anxious to show up, whether it be for live streaming or to be present for another human being. Some people don't even want to show up to work every day. And showing up is like 80% of what that Woody Allen one-liner is. And see, I have Roy around to like help me with that. And I'm pointing like he's back there, but he's not. I just needed somewhere to point. 80% of life, just showing up.
80% of success in life
Yes,
is just showing up.
Success.
Because what you don't realize is that you're waiting for a feeling to do something that you'll never get the feeling for. Let me ring the bell for myself because that was good. I'll say it again. You're waiting to start to do something that you know to do, that you want to do. It's your dream, it's your vision, but you don't feel like it. So you're waiting for the feeling to feel like it in order to do it. And I'm here to ring the bell for you, give you the gift of awareness. It ain't going to happen. You're never going to have the feeling to do that if you don't do that, because that's where the feeling comes from. The feeling comes from doing that, not wanting to do that, wishing to do that. Oh, there's a whole message on want. If I hear the word want come out of your face, yeah, I want to do that, Roy. So I'll go deeper and understand. What?
I'm a visual person. You were like out of your face. Just was so much better than saying out of your mouth, I think. I had to chuckle.
Well, because that is the beyond part.
You
mean it. I want to do my dream, Roy. And then that's usually followed with, but gotta wait for Aunt Matilda to move out. Gotta wait for the kids to grow up. They're at the terrible twos right now. I can't do this, Roy. but I want to. So I'm here to help people to recognize the words that are coming out of their own mouths and their face for me to see. They can't even see it. They don't even know. They don't even know the body language that they're exuding and the to-ness and the beyondness to me. Because, oh, you should just see the people that have been around me. We need to do a collage.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody that sat next to me that got butt hurt. This
oh
is
my
just
gosh.
the butt hurt years.
Listen, that is only going to be offered under bonus package number 3 for listen, we'll reduce it for the people we love. It'll be, I don't know, $197 just for you.
She's teasing. She's got her tongue firmly planted in her cheek. She's getting wise to the marketing. Who says that? Somebody just said, I think Gary Vee said that. He said, you know, when there's a new platform out there, the marketers come and ruin it.
I didn't hear that one, but sounds about right.
It's true. The spammy marketers.
Yep.
Because that's what people think of. When people hear marketing and sales and direct sales and network marketing and all these words that they think are icky, because anybody they've ever met within those confines of that culture and that environment has been icky. Has been icky. Even networking is icky. Just networking itself, which should be like, I mean, that's the number one thing you need to do to get to the top of the top and to rub virtual elbows with the top A-listers in your genre. You have to network. And if you don't know how to network, then you just have to throw out content. And then when you get tired of that and broke, what? Go ahead.
Just show up you. I don't understand why that's so hard for people nowadays.
They wear masks and don't even realize it. You don't even know you're wearing a mask. Oprah says it this way. Not that everything Oprah says is true, because I have a doozy to show you where Oprah is like, she's out of it. It's so anti #netfriending movement way that it cracks me up. But now I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
I don't remember.
It'll come back to me. So back to friend requests and the depth and the superficialness of which people want to do. So in essence, what April and I want to do is we want to change why you send friend requests, not only to April or myself, because we're both going to tell you, if you're this person, if you're that person, and with this front story, apply. If not, do not apply. Don't even ask. I'm just going to delete it, and then I'll write it down in my black book and say, this person didn't read my 90-second videos or watch my 90-second videos or read the transcript. They didn't do that. And they still friend requested me. Spammer, right? What else could they be? April, go from there.
Spam is spam is spam.
You get that icky feel right away. It's like, no, I'm not looking forward to this. When you friend request me, you say, I'm available Tuesday night at 8:45. And you said I only have to be there for 11 minutes or less? Less. 2 minutes. I'll sit next to you for 2 minutes.
People are so taken aback by this concept of a meet and greet. I mean, that is foreign to them, and yet they do it in their offline life every single day. That cracks me up. It's people, I gotta stop saying people, but it seems like it's everybody to me, that there's this view of the internet that it's not real life. You'll hear people often say IRL. Well, I met him or her in real life. Didn't I just like sit in a seat with you on cam for like an hour, whoever you are, and didn't we have a conversation? What do you mean in real life? I know what they mean, but the more you speak that language and you say in real life, and you then deduce from that this is not real life, the more you see it that way, the way you see your social media is the way you treat your social media and the people who are on social media. So stop it. Stop it. We are not an algorithm. We are people. You could just as easily cross paths with me at the local market when you're visiting as you can sitting next to me in a seat on the internet. It's still real life. So if you're going to send somebody a friend request, remember that they are a person and they are not a means to get to wherever you think you're going, and you don't even know where you're going, because when asked... Traffic. Oh, don't get me started on traffic. If somebody sends you a friend request and they do not send you an audio or video with the friend request, letting you know their intention for why they want to friend you, you have two options. You can either ditch the friend request after X amount of time goes by, or you can reach out and say, hey, I see you sent me a friend request. I'm always curious to find out why people want to connect with me via a friend request, especially when, and this is in my case, I don't know if you all who are watching have a follow button, but if you don't, you should. Why have you friend requested me versus using the follow button that I have on my profile? And then watch one of two things happen. One, they will be embarrassed because they don't have an answer for you, at least not a logical one. And so because they're embarrassed, they're going to toss it back at you now, and they're going to say, oh, well, I didn't mean to offend you. And then you say...
Yeah, we call it butthurt, B-U-T. Yeah. But April, I didn't mean to offend you.
Mm-hmm.
They get butthurt.
But then I say, well, you didn't offend me. I can't be offended.
What made you think that? Because that's not even possible. It's not even true. How can you offend somebody? It's like we already know who you are. It's like you don't even know what you don't even know. And you use it incorrectly, and you're shooting yourself in the relationship foot, the spiritual foot, the emotional foot, and the intellectual foot all at the same time. And I know that about you just because you're mediocre, and nobody in your circles is even have a, like, I don't know, it's the blind leading the blind. It's culture and environment. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not the end of the world if you find out you're mediocre. You're here now. Like, this is your opportunity to no longer be mediocre. That's the beauty in what we're doing.
That's the beauty. You know better, now do better.
That's right. So
it's the Maya Angelou quote, April? That I paraphrase because I can't remember the way she says it.
Which one? If you know better, do better?
Yeah. She says it way different than I do, but I got the gist from her, so I give it to her.
Yes. So if you've listened this far, which I hope you have, and if you have, that's great.
Which means you've done the best you can, right? And now that you know better, Maya Angelou says, do better. Now, when you do better, you come to the prestigious people search engine side, and you can rub virtual elbows with anybody here that you fit with, they fit with you, you resonate with, because everybody here is open to your friend request. Friend requests. Your friend request. That sounds very important, Roy. Okay, so see, this is how we roll. We just don't take anything too seriously. And you know what? Roy, I'm so afraid I'm going to make a blooper. Why? We all do it. And we're all equally as afraid before we make the blooper. And then we make the blooper and we laugh. And the first time you do a thing is the worst time you do a thing, even when you make a blooper. But if you've made 15 bloopers in a row, it's easier. And you don't quit because you get butthurt. But Roy, this feels so embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed. April, what did you do when you were embarrassed? When you felt inferior? Did you do it anyway? Did you do it afraid? Anyway?
Oh, I did it very afraid. But I didn't know before I met you and others that were doing this who were seasoned in this live streaming stuff. If you just think about how you show up in your everyday offline with the people whose paths you cross, and then just translate that into live streaming, it's no different other than maybe right now you're just in front of a camera and there's no other person speaking with you in the flesh. But just act as if there is somebody listening to your message on the other end of the camera.
Yes.
Just
act as if. Some people say fake it till you make it. Don't do that. Don't ever fake it, because I can smell your fakery and your fakeness and your fakeability or whatever you got. Just act as if, because when you act as if, you're acting as if it's already there, and that you're telling your body, because they've done lots of studies, and I'm going to tell you this one because if you don't know this, know this. So they took 6 basketball players, all about the same age, and they all had issues with their knee. They had basically the same type of injury. And so they wanted to do an experiment. So they said, you know what? We're going to tell all of them we're going to give them surgery, but only give it to 3 of them. And the other 3, we're just going to make it look like there was like a little incision or something, but we're not going to actually do the so that their mind thinks surgery was done because of what they see with their physical eyes. And you can guess where this is going, because the 3 that didn't have the surgery, that thought they had the surgery, had the placebo effect.
they had pain.
And they got better just because their thinking got better, in the same exact way that exact doctor science, physical science, whatever you want to call it, helped these other people. But they didn't even need to do that part. They didn't even need to do the physical part. That tells you how strong a hold your own mind can have on you. And April, tell us all again, who's the easiest person for you to lie to?
Yourself.
If you don't know that, know that. All of you are lying to yourself a lot easier than you're lying to me. And the stuff that you lie to me about when you sit down next to me, or not, and you go, wow, I never thought about that stuff, Roy. It's like, does this guy talk like that all the time, April? Does he always make people think when they get in a seat next to him? Is that what everybody can expect when they do a meet and greet with Roy Montero?
Yeah. If you think that's going to change and that you're going to mold him into the image you have of a live streamer who's audio only, who is a potential friend for, then no. The way he is today, now in this very moment, is the way he is 24/7, 365. Just saying.
So we have not stumbled upon a different way to teach and frienducate and train and coach and mentor people that is so different from the status quo and what's being taught out there, that if you even so much as watch, April, in the I don't know, how long do you think people can stand you at one video setting, like an hour, before they have to turn the channel?
That's not a very nice question to ask me.
Oh, I'm sorry. How should I have said it to protect the guilty from offending you? Do you feel offended? Do you feel offended?
Yes, I'm so offended.
Did you get butthurt, April?
Hold on, let me check if my butt hurt. Yes. No, I don't know.
Tea.
That butt.
Silly woman. All right, listen, guys. Fun, funny, and fruitful, always.
Always.
And if you don't like the banter that we have for each other, first and foremost, with each other, primarily, secondarily, certain days, certain times, certain shows, I just started recording everything with April from the beginning. I said, I record everything. Is that okay with you? And she's like, what?
I was like, yeah. That was me being a fence sitter in my own mind. Because I heard other people's voices in my head going, don't trust that guy. Don't trust him. He's recording you. You don't even know him. Well, then just don't say anything you don't want the rest of the world to hear, and you'll be fine.
Duh! Ring the bell for
Duh.
that. Ring the bell for that newfound mentality. It's like, duh. See, I don't care about your personality, because even if your personality is different than mine, it's just a driver. It's just a car. It's just a vehicle. That's how you get your message out. I'm more concerned about your character, not your reputation. I could care less what your reputation is. Well, Roy, if you just look at, would have read what they wrote about me over here and over there and everywhere. It's like, yeah, I mean, I get it. But why would I go there first when I could just talk to you for 15 minutes and not know anything about you and just get to know you the way that I want to know you, not the way you want me to know you? Does that make sense, April?
Yes.
Why do people want me to know them the way that they want to give me their reputation when I want to know what is your character? Here's the best way. Here's the best way to learn.
They want their testimonials to speak for who they are, because
#no.
It's easier for them than investing time, because they see their time with you as having spent their time, and that automatically filters them out as somebody who's not ready and prepared to be part of the net friending way.
True that. Now, when I say to people, I don't care what you say about you, I don't even care what other people have said about you. When I first meet you, listen to the rest of the sentence. When I first meet you. Because here's what you're going to get from me. Number one, I'm going to love you before you ever take a seat, before I even know your name. I already love you. Love is not a feeling, love is a doing. Love is a good doing for the other person all the time. You can feel my love, or you can feel the absence of my love, but love is not a feeling. So just because I say I love you doesn't mean you feel my love. April, true that?
True that.
And if that's not the case, then that's not the definition. Somebody's been fooling you. Somebody's been deceiving you about love. Mom, how will I know when I'm in love? You'll just know, son. You'll just know, daughter. But how? You'll just know. Run along. Go play. If you've ever been fed that bowl of hay, because hay's for horses, don't swallow it. It's not true. It's not true. And when people sit next to me, I'm not more important than you, but I'm also not less important than you. Which means if you take a seat next to me and I get the I'm more important than Roy vibe, because I got more social proof. Look, I'm a celebrity. I got a check mark, and I'm in the news tabloids like every day. What?
Oh my gosh, with the check mark, because we were just talking about that earlier.
You see how we roll? She finds that funny when I say check mark. Why don't you take over so we can have some banter here between us? I'm making light of the fact that if a person thinks they're more important than me, it's like, Roy, you've only got 6 people following you. I got 6 million. Why would I want to come sit next to you and bring my tribe and talk to them and comment with them? Why would I want to do that after you take 2 weeks to find out who the people are that's going to brand champion me and want to take a seat and say hey and hi, and because we have the technology to do it. And when we give you sound bites and when we let you use the whole entire video for whatever you want to do, you win, we win. If you want to give us, a crumb and you want to say, hey, look, this is what I did over there at that channel thing, is they're like ABC for TV 2.0 talk shows. It's like, maybe you ought to see what they're doing, especially all you tribe leaders. If you got people that you really love and you're not just using them because their wallets or purses, or you look at them as traffic, but if you actually know a person's name and, you want to go deep, they're for you. April, I don't know how to say it any better than that.
Okay. So just When you've done, I'm not going to say tried, when you have done all that there is to do out there, you've gone round and round on that merry-go-horsey, I don't know, probably 16 times, because twice wasn't enough for you. You've emptied your wallet of thousands and thousands of dollars because there were promises and guarantees made that if you follow these steps, you too can have what I'm having. And all of that has not worked out for you. And you're banging your head against the wall and you're like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I did all the things they told me to do. I did everything by the book.
Yeah. But did they ask you your personality type, and did they say this is what fit for all personality types out there, for you introverts, for you extroverts, for your thinkers, for your feelers? Or did they ask you what personality type are you? And oh, you want room 121 over there down the hall, April?
Yeah, with all those other people with those personality types.
Correct. And they will tell you a story on their mess of investing thousands of dollars and being given a one-size-fits-all marketing campaign, one-size-fits-all marketing funnel, sales funnel this, funnel that. People don't know what they don't know. And so there's 93%. I don't know if these figures are accurate, but it says 93% of the people play on people's ignorance. How long do you want to remain ignorant before your wallet is empty? What's in your wallet? No more. I should come up with that campaign.
What's in your wallet? No more.
Your hard-earned dollars that you went after, that shiny object, it sounded good, promised good, but when you went and did it, it didn't do good. And that's because it wasn't you. You were uncomfortable doing that. You want to do this, you don't want to do that. Maybe if you would have had the passion to do all of this stuff, it would have worked. But had they not asked your personality type, then they probably sold you something that you won't use. And you don't even know. Because, believe me, if you know who you are, you'll know who you want to get collaborated, connected, and maybe even married to. Because that's what happens when you enter into an environment and a culture that is absolutely free of blank. You think of a blank that you want to be free of in an environment, in a culture, that's the net friending way. That's the net friending movement. Let's talk about that for just a second, April. You were like, what, 42, 43 when you met me. So for 40-something years, you were in cultures and environments, whether at work, whether at home, whether at play, whether at this, whether at that, that were not free of everything you would want that environment to be free of. There was still, you had to wear a mask, you had to feel like this, you had to step on people's toes not because they're so insensitive, they don't know the truth. And so it's like, oh, I got to step on eggshells, right? That feeling. If you've ever had that feeling, guys, listen to what April's going to say. In the 2.5 years you've invested time with me and the way that we've opened it up with our show and our environment and our culture and our page and our community, our tribe, is it not like free of everything? There's no baggage. There's no expectations. It's like, oh, you hurt my feelings. Everybody's free to say whatever they want. And we're free to help one another. And these relationships are being built so deep. And the next thing you know, people are not spilling their guts. That's what the normal, everyday, mediocre person will say. But I will say, sharing your shame and guilt story in an environment where you feel safe, where you know this isn't going to go and be used against you, and you feel so safe, even though your dad might listen to this. That was amazing. That was amazing. Our story needs to be shared and told, not just the 7 or 80 people that got. No, I get choked up just thinking about how many people she's going to impact. It was amazing.
Yeah, we are definitely building a culture and a very solid foundation of what Roy just described. And that is, you can come here and share whatever your story is to share. and we will not judge you, and we will not make fun of you. And if anybody in our perimeter even gives a hint of that,
if we can block and kick them, we're going to do it.
Block and kick, yes.
That's B&K for you, or who are like the cool kids on the net friending movement way to, well, just letting people know that there is an environment. So many people wish that they could, like at 2:00 in the morning when they're going through a crying spell because they're at the end of their rope, they don't know what to do and they're stuck. And they just wish that there was another human being who they could talk to, where they could say this and then they could hear that and they could go, oh my goodness, is that what you did? You just need somebody like you, and we're gonna connect people like you. And you don't even know to go here because you didn't know what an iPhone was until iPhone came out. It's like Steve Jobs didn't go like, okay, what do you guys want? No, he just gave you what he knew you needed. And you said, give me that. People need to hear what we're going to say, because listen, why do you want to go to a doctor for a year before he tells you you're going to die in 3 months? I don't know where that came from. I love that. Why would you want to wait to go to a doctor a year from now to find out that you only have 3 months to live? You know how many people do that? Even the same amount of people, if not more people, die with their God-given assignment still in them. Because they didn't want to connect with their divine connections. They didn't want to get prepared for their divine connection. It's too hard. It's too hard. I'm so butthurt, B-U-T. But I never learned that, Roy. I never learned that lie that I believe about friendship and relationships is really a lie. I still want to believe it's true because that's how I've done my whole entire life. And they don't even realize that they're shooting themselves in the foot, and they need to let go of that because nothing happens in their comfort zone. And they've been comfortable being miserable. April goes like this. One-liner. Guys, write this down. Put this on the inside of your eyelashes. Excuse me, your eyelids.
No.
Because this is so important. And April's going to finish it because she just learned it with me as well.
Oh, boy.
What you do not hate,
you will tolerate.
And what you tolerate,
you will not change.
Guys, we just like to have fun. This is so important. Learn this. This will tell you exactly. If you didn't have a thermometer, if you didn't have a barometer, if you didn't have a speedometer on your gauge, on your journey in life, this is it right here. Think of all the things that you do not hate in your life that you should, because you know God says, yeah, you shouldn't be saying that, doing that, believing that. But you do, because that's where you came from. Your parents didn't know the Lord. Your cousins didn't know the Lord. Nobody around you knew the Lord, like April. But then she met me in her early 40s. And yeah, that's our story. When April met Roy and when Roy met April. My story is different than hers when we met, because I was looking for this and she was looking for that. And a lot of people, when they meet, they don't even know what they're looking for, other than, hey, you want to buy my product? Yes or no? No? Okay, I'll unfriend you. Because that's not what they were taught in business school.
Yeah. You know, that Roy guy over there, he can go on for like hours because there's so much information to share with y'all.
Oh, sorry. Yes. We're going to do 3 videos. My goodness. How much time we got?
I don't know, but I'm about to choke. So I don't know when my child will be home. Hard to say. I'm only prepared to do 1 video at the moment, though. I know you're going to tell me that's not true. feel like I need to do the three. We do the 3 B's to anything. We brain dump, brainstorm, and blueprint. And I feel like we did the 3 B's to the first video, but not the second and third. Yeah. So the videos that we're talking about, by the way, that I'm talking about, because Roy has conveniently gone mute.
No, I thought you were taking over. You need to do these videos.
Yeah, I need to do the video. That's what I was saying. The video. Because I don't know what to, yeah. There's 3 videos. There's the "Who are you?" video, 90 seconds or less, where you go through a list of questions and answer them. And everybody's going to do this. Answer the same questions before they are seeded into the People search engine, the prestigious People search engine. And it's things like your name and where you live and how many kids you have and what's your birth order. Are you an only child? Do you have pets? What's your personality type, your love language, your primary love language? Stuff like that.
Stuff we can use. Don't tell us stuff we can't use to make a connection at the root, right? This is the root. We know if you want a superficial relationship with April, do not apply. I am telling you right now, do not apply. She's going to want to sit next to you, and you're wasting your time. You make all these 3 videos, and you don't want to sit next to her. You just wasted those 3 videos. You got to sit next to her. Eventually, we're going to have people like you be able to come in as well. But right now, you have to sit next to her. Okay, I'll be there too. And you need to be able to get that blank out of the way, whatever the blank is. We'll fill in the blank later because I don't even know what it's called. I'm still brain dumping. Go ahead.
Yeah.
3 videos. First one is, who are you?
Who are you? The second one is, what problem do you solve and for whom? That's pretty self-explanatory, right? And the third one is, who do you want to meet today? And that could be an actual person, or it could be an avatar of a person. So maybe, like, if it's an actual person, maybe you're like me and you want to meet Tim Tebow. And if you don't have a specific person in mind, maybe there's a type of person that you want to meet, somebody who has kids the same age as yours, or maybe somebody who's been adopted like you have, or maybe somebody who is a foster parent like you are, and on and on and on.
Or they have a chronic disease like you do, or whatever you want to connect with, whatever your passion is, let us know. Yes. If we don't have it yet, because we're just building our parachute on the way down, we're looking for tribe leaders. And if you have a passion for that, even if you're not a tribe leader, even if you don't have anybody following you, you can be the connector between those who have and those who are up and coming. Because every genre, every industry has their A-listers. And the quickest way to the top is to start at the top. And so we don't like throwing content around to each other when people don't know what the content means. So I don't know about you, about open rates and all this other stuff. It's like, if you don't want to be on my email list and open up and do what I say, then don't be there. Because I'm shooting for 100% open rate. It's like, I want to involve you. What's the Ben Franklin quote?
Teach me, and I don't remember. I don't want to butcher it. I never get
I forget it too.
Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn.
That's it. Involve me and I learn. Because these schools are taught for the industrial age, not for this age. Keep that in mind. What your kids are learning right now, you have to add what we are teaching you to their curriculum. If you don't, they're going to be way behind when they meet people who do things the net friending way, either by default or by design.
Look at all the people who were not ready, not prepared for Facebook. and Snapchat and Instagram and all these social media platforms, people who did not adopt the culture early are lost now. They're like living in the Stone Age here in modern day times, simply because they did not embrace a new culture, one that is vital to their visibility and to connecting in the business world. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what you're saying is so bell ring worthy, and I ring the bell for people because sometimes the obvious is not so obvious. And I don't know this very well myself. I want to learn this. There's the four cognitive thingies. You're either aware that you're aware, you're not aware that you're not aware, that stuff like that. It's like, it's fascinating stuff. So I don't claim to know any and all of it completely and in-depthly. Is that a word? But here's what I do know. Come into my environment the way April did. Keyword, the way April did. Because if you don't do it the way April did, and you want to do it and use your own brain, which isn't in line with April's brain, which is in line with my brain, which is in line with the truth about relationships and friendships, and doing it the net friending way, friendship first, businessship second, you're missing out. And if you say, well, I don't want to be friends with that guy, Roy, you don't have to be. You just have to be friendly, and that'll work too. But if you're not friends with me, then I won't do any collaboration or co-creation with you. And not to say that April won't, because April gets to do whatever April wants to do.
So there.
But I am going to tell you this much, that 9 times out of 10, 4 out of 5 dentists would say that when Roy says no, then you present it to April, and she's pretty much going to say no also, because that's the net friending way. You see with different eyes to the heart, to the soul, to the essence of which is you. You didn't even know your character, and you didn't even know how you were showing up for people in the world, or maybe you did and you pushed it aside, because April, you did a great job blabbing yourself on that picture where I met you when we met on Blab, and you were using your Twitter picture because that's what they used. It was by default your Twitter picture. And when I saw your Twitter picture, which was about, what did you say, 8 years old at the time, you were 7, 8 years older at the time, you were able to see your apprehension of providing all of us with confidence in the face confidence. I don't even know how to say it. You want to help us with that?
Facial confidence. Just our emotions show up in our face, and what you think about is what you're feeling about, and it just comes through your face. It comes through other parts of your body too, but it's really pronounced in your face. And it's more obvious for the receiver of that information because they're looking at your face when they're talking with you or when they're listening to you. They're focused on your face.
And so the person who has never live streamed doesn't know this about themselves. I can remember in the very beginning when Joy Ruffin would sit next to us. I'm pretty sure now, looking back in retrospect, that 4 out of 5 dentists would say that Joy was not even aware that she was making these facial expressions. And if she was watching herself instead of just watching the camera, then I don't know. I don't know if she was aware of her facial expressions, but I can remember asking you, do you think she is? And you said,
I don't remember what I said. If you were to ask me now, I would say, was she aware that she was making those faces? Yes. Would she say she was aware? No. I don't think she,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, I
No,
don't think,
that's really good that you added that part because I wasn't thinking that. All right, so why wouldn't she admit to it then?
because then she'd have to own it.
So why
And
wouldn't she own it?
because they were not pleasant faces.
But
They
if she
were,
knows that she's making him and she knows that you're seeing him, she can't get out of. What do you? Okay, so this is so good. I'm going to ring the bell twice. Okay. Do you know why this is so good?
no.
Okay, listen to what you just said. You said she's aware of making those faces,
Uh-huh.
but when you ask her, she's going to deny it.
Yes,
She's going to suppress the truth, and she's going
correct.
to lie to you.
Yes.
And the reason she's going to lie to you is why?
So she doesn't have to own it.
She's already owning it because she knows that you saw her do it.
Doesn't matter. She's chronic like that. Just,
Okay, so help me understand how that helps her not own it when it's obvious to everybody that she did it, and she's lying to herself about it, but everybody else realizes she's lying.
it's like this. I don't know how to the why, but it's like I liken it to my former husband being literally like, I know that you're cheating on me. And he says, no, I'm not. But I have proof. No, I'm not. He can't own it because he's too blank about it to own up to it. Even though he knows, you saw, you have the evidence, he's not going to own it because he can't. It's just, I can't own it because I know that I'm wrong, but I'm not going to admit that I'm wrong.
So they're
Not,
lying to themselves
yes.
while they're telling you that
Yes.
they're not.
Yes.
You know that's insane, right?
Hence why I'm divorced now. Yes.
Well, I don't know if you were going to come to that awareness anytime soon because I don't know, and you don't know, and we don't know. To give you my best friend-educated guess, I would say that unless you have another person walking with you, that same journey, which is outside your comfort zone, and you know that nobody in your circles right now can handle that. It's like, oh my goodness, my husband's cheating on me. I know I have to talk this out. Okay, maybe you don't even know that yet, because how many parents share that with their kids? Whatever you don't talk out, you act out. And how many of them let them get away with it, and then even count to 10? You know to what number my dad counted?
2, 1,
One,
1.
one. He's going to give me a warning. I don't want you doing this. I want you doing this. And then I'm going to tell you why if you ask me, because he always did. Why, Dad? He told me. I said, okay. And if I did it one time, there was action. There's no counting to 10. There's action, whatever that action is. And the greatest action I ever got was when I was still in the home. I was like 19 or 20. I can't remember when exactly that was. And he said, you've been coming home really late, which I had, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm still under his roof. And he says, under my roof, it's 2 o'clock curfew. Otherwise, I'm going to have your bags packed. I said, yes, Dad. That's all he said. That's all I said. The next night, I stayed out till 4. He had my bags packed. They were on the front stoop. I never even made it into the house. Grabbed my stuff and went away for a month and lived with a friend and then came back to Dad and said, I'm sorry, forgive me? He said, yes. I came back. I was uncomfy, but you learned something, and I knew it. I knew he didn't count to 10. I knew I was going to be out, but it was worth it. So I weighed the cost. I made the decision, but I didn't know it was going to last a month. So bell ring for the blessing. So to this day, I can say to you kids, if your parents count to 10 or to 5 or whatever they count to, if they don't count to 1,
consider yourself fortunate.
then you're being deceived and you're being taught something that is not good for you. Don't you do it. Make your yes, yes, and your no, no, and teach your kids right. And not just what you think is right. So anyway, we need to get this one recording in. So you're going to do your 1 minute and 30-second or less video the net friending way. And I'm going to leave you alone. And I'm not going to interject anything. I'm going to say to Marshawn, because ultimately this is going to get to Marshawn. Evans Daniels, big shout out. You're my burning bush experience from a couple of months ago. When was it? Shoot, in 9 days, it's going to be 3 months. It was June 11th. I remember. June 11th is when I woke up to the sound of your voice, and I loved what you were saying. You were on TBN, and I looked you up, and I said, OMG, I need to put something together for her tribe. For her and her tribe, I want to start with her. I want to give Marshawn Evans Daniels the first right of refusal, and then we're going to go to Brene Brown, Marie Forleo, and or Lisa Nichols in whatever order. And also on the list is Mari Smith, Allie Brown, Lisa Sasevich, and Nancy Marmolejo, Nancy Jutton, who else?
Danny
Milana
Johnson.
Lashinska, Danny Johnson, Milana Lashinsky, Danny Johnson. What ladies am I leaving out? And then the ones that you don't know all that well, like Shalene Johnson. I like what she's been saying lately. She's fun, funny, and fruitful. I like her. She's all about, the real Shalene, seeing everything. She'll do like I don't know, what was that, Instagram thing or whatever. I think Instagram people are being very cash.
Yeah.
So it was like she was asking her husband something, and it was very husband and wifey like talk. It was
Yeah.
almost like
Her husband
you're
said,
seven.
is this like okay for Snapchat? That's what he said.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a fun time we live in, guys, because we can communicate in ways that we've never been able to communicate before, and people still want to wear masks because most of the time they have to. And I'm on your side, like Lorenzo and Chris and Christian, when they're in the marketplace as employees or even as what what it is that they're doing, consulting, or they're not employees, they're entrepreneurs, or they're self-employed, or they're whatever the case may be. There's still an air of, I have to be wearing this mask when I'm in the corporate environment, just like you do, April. You wear a mask. You can't be yourself, because the next thing you know, people are going to go to HR and go, April, she hurt my butt, my BUT, and I'm butt hurt. Can you get rid of her?
I'm surprised they haven't gone to HR about that yet, because honestly, I wear very little of my mask as possible at work because
I'm sure
I
you do.
don't believe in that. So if they have a problem with me being me, then I don't need to be there.
Bluntонese is the native language of the net friending movement. Everyone can speak it. Everyone can understand it. It's just that they haven't been conditioned and flea trained in that direction. They've been conditioned and flea trained in something else. And I just want to bring it to your awareness. And how do I do that without hurting your butt, B-U-T? Well, by doing these 3 videos, and the one that April's going to put out together right now with me watching her and just not saying anything through it. She's going to do 1, 2, 3, or 4 takes all by herself until she feels like she did the right one, and we're off to the races, because we could do splicing and dicing and everything else. So not that I'm any good at it, because I'm not a video editor, don't want to be, but we got to put this out. This has got to be perfect. This has got to be all that in a bag of chips. So is your hair in place, April? Ready? Go.
You're funny. No, my hair's been messed up for quite some time now, actually, because listen, I'm real. I'm real, real, real. So I went into the garage to go do laundry, I'll go, yeah. And so my hair's maybe not in place like I want it to be, but it's a good thing I'm not live right now. But then again, you know, Roy, you don't ever really know what he's gonna, you know, pick to put out there in the public eye. I have like lots of hair and it does whatever the heck it wants to. And this could be like evergreen, you know, like these videos that I put out could be like out there for 100 bazillion years, long after I'm dead and gone. So I have to, my hair has to look okay, you know? Okay. Where am I? I don't know where I am. Ready? Get set? Like, take one. Good day to you all. My name is April Roga, and my friends affectionately refer to me as April 2.0. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is just a few hours east of Nashville. I am 40-something and an only child. I am a divorced mom of one child, and my son was born in 2010. He's nonverbal and on the autism spectrum. While I do not currently have pets, I do love birds and dogs. And I first came online in 1996 at age 23, back in those AOL days, in the early stages of AOL. My Myers-Briggs personality type is ENFJ. And my primary love language is physical touch. But since you can't touch me virtually, I will share with you that my secondary love language is words of affirmation. My 4 shapes are wavy, line, pyramid, cube, and ball. And lastly, connect with me at netfriending.com/meetaprilroga. Take 2. This is hilarious. Okay.
You had 4 seconds to spare, actually.
Woo!
Right.
I didn't.
So the next time you do the take 2, just do the arm thing again, and I'll start the countdown timer.
Oh, okay. My voice is like crackling. Okay. Take 2. Good day to you all. My name is April Roga, and my friends affectionately refer to me as April 2.0. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is about a few hours east of Nashville. I'm a divorced mom of one child. He was born in 2010. He is nonverbal and on the autism spectrum. While I do not currently have pets, I do love birds and dogs. I first came online in 1996 at the age of 23, back in the early days of AOL. My Myers-Briggs personality type is ENFJ. My primary love language is physical touch. But since you can't touch me virtually, I will share with you that my secondary love language is words of affirmation. My 4 shapes are wavy line, pyramid, cube, and ball. And lastly, connect with me at netfriending.com/meetaprilroga.
17 seconds to spare.
Woo! I love that you can sit there and like eat while I'm like, okay. You know I love to point out when you're eating, right? It's like my favorite thing to do.
It is. I'm so cash, and she's like, you know, it says, wait a second. Okay. Because I'm just me all the time. So, take 3 is just as soon as you're like ready.
As soon as I'm done beautifying myself. Can I beautify myself? Okay. Take 3. Good day to you all. My name is April Roga, and my friends affectionately refer to me as April 2.0. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is just a few hours east of Nashville. I am 40 something and an only child. I'm a divorced mom of one child. He was born in 2010. He is nonverbal and on the autism spectrum. While I do not currently have pets, I do love birds and dogs. And I first came online in 1996 at the age of 23, back in the early days of AOL. You guys remember that, right? My Myers-Briggs personality type is ENFJ. And my primary love language is physical touch. But since you can't touch me virtually, I'll just share with you what my secondary love language is, and that would be words of affirmation. My 4 shapes are wavy line, pyramid, cube, and ball. And lastly, connect with me at netfriending.com/meet April Roga.
11.
Ooh, maybe that's the one.
I just thought of that too.
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm doing it any differently each time, so I don't know.
The first one you had 4 seconds, then you had, what did I say, 17 seconds?
17 and 11. Yeah.
So the first time was said a little slower. Perfect. You have 4 seconds to go. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But see, the more you know what you're going to say, the faster it's going to come out because you know what you're going to say.
That's why I had more time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then when you realize you had that much more time, you slowed it down just a little bit and said, wow, I got 17 seconds left. We slow it down a little bit. Now there's 11 seconds. So I like the way you make your adjustment. That's why I wanted to tell you, because I knew that that's where you're going to think. Which we all do.
So what other feedback do you have outside of the timing?
I think you're doing this perfectly. I don't think any of this feels forced. I think people will absolutely love what they hear and go, I want to do that. I can do that too, and attract the right people to me, and go and look and see all the other people that I'm attracted to. Oh my goodness, I'm going to do it.
Okay, let me do it. Let me do a fourth time. Ready? Take 4. Good day to you all. My name is April Roga, and my friends affectionately refer to me as April 2.0. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is just a few hours east of Nashville. I am 40 something and an only child. I am a divorced mom with one child. He was born in 2010. He's nonverbal and on the autism spectrum. While I do not currently have pets, I do love them. I love birds and dogs. And I first came online in 1996 at the age of 23, way back in the early days of AOL. I'm sure you guys remember that. My Myers-Briggs personality type is ENFJ. My primary love language is physical touch. But since you guys can't touch me virtually, I will share with you that my secondary love language is words of affirmation. My 4 shapes are wavy line, pyramid, cube, and ball. And lastly, connect with me at netfriending.com/meet April Roga.
11 again, but here's the problem. I just heard in my head this thought.
Yes.
You discern where it came from. We have to include the gems. Gems. When you say, my shapes are, and right after you say what your shapes are, you say, my gems are.
Well, it's only one gem, though. Yeah, my gem.
My gem is, yes. And that's all you need to say, because you still have plenty of time to get that in. So can you do 1 or 2 of those? really quick before we.
One or two? What do you mean 1 or 2? Oh, 2 takes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Include, and my gem is.
It's a pearl, right? I'm a pearl. Pretty sure.
What am I?
You're emerald.
Yes.
I'm pearl. Because I'm not a sapphire and I'm not a ruby, so I'm a pearl.
Yep.
Okay, ready?
So add that. I'll add that to the list. Yes. Ready? Go.
Good day to you all. My name is April Roga, and my friends affectionately refer to me as April 2.0. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is just a few hours east of Nashville. I am 40-something and an only child. I'm a divorced mom of 1 child. He was born in 2010. He's nonverbal and on the autism spectrum. While I do not currently have pets, I do love them, dogs and birds, to be specific. I first came online in 1996 at age 23 during the early years of AOL. Early years. I screwed that up and I hear you typing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, man, I thought I was on mute. Sorry, girl.
Okay, so I'll give you like a second to...
Wait, let me restart the thing here. Hold on.
That's funny.
No, you had like 34 seconds. Okay, so let me just... Okay, ready? Go.
Good day to you all. My name is April Roga, and my friends affectionately refer to me as April 2.0. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is about a few hours east of Nashville. I am 40-something and an only child. I am a divorced mom with 1 child. He was born in 2010. He's nonverbal and on the autism spectrum. While I don't currently have pets, I do love them. I love birds and dogs. And I first came online in 1996 at the age of 23, back in the early days of AOL. I'm sure you guys remember that, right? My Myers-Briggs personality type is ENFJ. My primary love language is physical touch. But since you guys can't touch me virtually, I will just share with you that my secondary love language is words of affirmation. My 4 shapes are wavy line, pyramid, cube, and ball. My gem is pearl. And lastly, connect with me at netfriending.com/meet April Roga.
I can't get to it fast enough. What is it? Okay, so it must have been... By the time I actually got to it, it's probably like 11, 10, 9. So there's that.
Yeah.
Plenty of time to spare. And I just thought about Danny Johnson, because if we start to do this, it's like it's going to be that much easier to get into Danny Johnson's. What is it that I need to get into? Her why.
Her why? So she's...
Yeah, her why for joining forces with us.
Oh.
Because we're already like teaching people about her gems.
That's right.
Well, she charges for that.
Mm. Okay. I'm...
One more.
My favorite one was the one before you added the gem, so now I'm like all... Okay.
Play Rocky.
Say what?
Play Rocky.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good. Ready? Go. Good day to you all. My name is April Roga, and my friends affectionately refer to me as April 2.0. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is just a few miles. Oh, crap. It's not miles. Cut. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that is a total blooper reel right there. I'm like, crap, cut. Oh, man, that was hilarious. Okay, sorry. That's me getting all cocky with myself now. I'm like, I got this memorized. Okay.
Go.
Good day to you all. My name is April Roga, and my friends affectionately refer to me as April 2.0. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is just a few hours east of Nashville. I am 40-something and an only child. I'm a divorced mom of one child. My son, he was born in 2010. He is nonverbal and on the autism spectrum. While I don't currently have pets, I do love them, especially birds and dogs. And I first came online in 1996, back during the early AOL days. I was 23 years old. My Myers-Briggs personality type is ENFJ. My primary love language is physical touch. But since you all can't touch me virtually, I will share with you that my secondary love language is words of affirmation. My 4 shapes are wavy line, pyramid, cube, and ball. My gem is pearl. And lastly, connect with me at netfriending.com/meetaprilroga.
9.
Okay, that's the one.
By saying the gem.
That's the one.
All right.
Although it has to be Roy approved. How many takes was that? Like 9?
Well, we can't use the ones that don't include the gem.
No, I know.
12 questions.
13 if you count that. And lastly, connect with me. That's like the call to action. It's not a question, but.
Right, call to action. Give them your profile page. Not on Facebook. Your net friending profile page. If you don't send them there, we're not posting it. Because it has to be, because that's how our network is going to be different than everybody else's network. Everybody has a search bar that leads back to the search engine, right where everybody started from. It's a central watering hole. We can easily find and be found by people, and you just have to be qualified. You just can't just sit there. You have to be willing to do a meet and greet for an hour a week. And if you don't do 14 or 4 different 15-minute one-to-ones, then post it with the proper hashtag so that we can say, you know what, I want to put this in my archives, or I want to do a blog post about it. Give us and give everybody else an opportunity to put content out there about the content provider, because they know that what they provide, what problem do they solve, is for their tribe. Listen, the reason this isn't out there right now is because the world does not yet know. So when did Pepsi become Pepsi? Coke became Coke, like, I would think 30, 40 years before Pepsi became Pepsi. I'm thinking, I don't know. I have no idea when the two came into being. So I'm thinking 1880 for Coke, and I'm thinking 1930 something for Pepsi. This is just my best French-educated guess. Now, my point is that they were so many years apart, but now they're 1 and 2. I believe Coke will always be number 1. They've established themselves as number 1, just like Facebook will always be number 1. They're too far in the game to not be. Somebody would have to make a major FUPA decision, which I think they're beyond all of that. April, from what you've learned about the Facebook experience that Mark Zuckerberg gave all of his peeps, good or bad, underhanded or not, do you see how we have overlap with what he's put together for the how, for the tool, the mechanics, and we have the mindset to put them together using his tools?
Yes.
His tools are amazing. Better than Google. I never thought I'd say that. I'm
yes.
a Google guy. I was a Google guy.
Yes. So, to make it easier to not have to go back through too much and find those videos, because Roy's not very good at slicing and dicing, as he said. I have to prepare for the arrival of my child and finish laundry. I have to do the mommy thing. That's what I do. Later, to be continued, will be videos 2 and 3. But first, we have to like talk about
the easy ones. But first, we have to actually know the answer to the easy ones.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, it is. But see, we're here to help you. So come join us, and we'll help you put together the thing before you put together the thing.
There you go. That's part of masterclass, right?
That's right. That's part of it. So, okay, I just thought to ask you this. This is total zag, totally cutting this out, but I need to know. Give it half a nanosecond of thought and then answer. Will you do that?
Yes. I'm waiting.
Is there like your id or like your ego or like a part of your essence that says, my guilty secret pleasure would be if Scott sees me like this?
No. No.
Well, you go away. Go get ready for your baby. I'll talk to you tonight.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Uh-oh. My computer just crashed.
Uh-oh. Can you still hear me?
Yes. I can't shut this now. Oh, crap.
You might just have to pull the cord out.
Oh, wow. That never did that before. Okay. I'm afraid, though, I can't end the broadcast. If I do that, will it just go away?
I can end it from my end.
You can?
Yeah, it's a good thing you told me. Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
I come in as a top dude, top dog.